We live. It says, still says, yeah, we are live. We're live. Good morning, real closers. Good morning. I wish you were part of the little, conversation we had prior to here. I know it's not coffee for closers. We do a power hour today, but we were talking about coffee and Father's Day and getting gifts for making coffee. Hope everybody had a good weekend. For those who celebrate, hope you guys have fun with kids,
100%.
parents. Gustavo, how was your weekend?
It was great, man. I got, here on my desk, I got some of the stuff my kids made me at school. So one of my kids gave me a foot, right? Because I want to follow in your footsteps, is this thing. And I
That's
got
pretty
another
cool.
one. Yeah, I got another one with my little guy. He made like a little picture frame for that. So, I got the, Father's Day gift. The real gift I got, I was telling Roberto before the call, I got an espresso machine for the first time. And my first ever like home espresso machine. Because, quick story, this is a good story. I've never been a coffee guy. For the longest, I didn't even drink any coffee until in my mid 30s. I never drank a coffee a day, like one coffee regularly until my mid 30s, because I had kids, right? So my kids a little bit older, you need a little bit of a jolt, right, to help out. And I got into it, but I wasn't really like into it. I was just have a cup. Whatever my wife made, I just grab a cup of that. I didn't care. Couldn't tell the difference. Well, this, about a month ago, actually last month, I go on vacation with my sister-in-law and her husband, and we go to this resort. They've got coffee there. It was pretty decent. I thought, hey, actually, this is pretty good coffee. And I said, hey, I know this is, you know what? I had not been able to tell the difference. This coffee is good though. And my sister-in-law's husband says, bro, this is only like halfway decent coffee. You got to get an espresso. Now you can tell the difference. You got to get the espresso machine, and then you'll really see that good coffee. And get the beans and whatever. So I'd never been one of those bean grinder, coffee preparers. Well, I'm there, man. I'm there, early 40s finally got me there. I'm an espresso enabled, coffee drinker now. So we'll see, man. This is actually one of my third cups ever. So, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. So far, so good. So we're jumping in.
We'll see some of the effects through the interview as we do.
I'll be super high energy with my infused beans here, though. But the topic of today's topic is one, Roberto, that everyone should have in their toolbox. It's a tool that every agent should have in their toolbox, and that is the off-market property list. Okay, the off-market property list. So when we've got plenty of inventory, right? And people want to find deals, I always tell them, get a, it's a great buyer lead magnet. Generate an off-market property list, right? And when you're in low inventory, even more so, because when there's inventory, you want to generate an alternative. Hey, there's a lot of homes out there. How about these off-market deals? Some off-market deals you can actually get some, you can't get on the MLS. It's great. When you have a low inventory situation, like a lot of markets right now, not every market, but a lot of markets right now have low inventory right now. Off-market property list is golden, right? Because it can help you attract buyers for sure. It's a great lead magnet. And it can also help you carve out some inventory of some of these, sellers that are holding back, that are unsure, the uncertainty, the market's got them holding back, right? So I'm going to go in 3 easy ways to generate properties for that off-market property list. And only good things can happen from this list, Roberto, right? You either attract more buyers, and you can pick the most qualified ones, right? Because right now, I agree, it can be challenging to be a buyer. Got to find a qualified, motivated buyer in this market. I agree. Generate more buyer leads. Oh, no, I don't want any more buyers. No. You want qualified buyers. You don't want more buyers. There's no such thing as too many buyers. You have too many qualified buyers ready to pull the trigger, yes or no. Okay, that's what you want more of. And then you can get into contact with more potential sellers. Nothing bad can happen by having realistic conversations with more sellers every day. Nothing bad can happen from that, okay? You're talking to them, and I'm going to tell you how to approach some of these sellers in a very non-confrontational way. You're trying to help them out, and that is the best way to start a relationship with them, okay? So here we go. So to build an off-market property list, number one, just break out the Google Sheets, break out Excel, right? And start typing, because the first thing you want to add in there, you want to call up, number one, you want to call up expired listings, and especially old expired listings, okay? You want to dig up expires from 6 months ago, from a year ago, even further out if you can in your market. Make sure they haven't relisted in the last 18 months, and give them a call. But this is a very simple call to make, right? Because you're not calling them about listing their property. You're just calling and asking, hey, if I want to add you to my off-market property list, if I brought you a qualified buyer, would you take an offer from them? Would you accept an offer? Would you at least listen to the offer they'd like to make for your home? And if it was a good offer, would you still sell the home, right? Got to ask them that question. Very non-intrusive question, very non-confrontational question. Okay, great. And what price range are you looking for? Get an idea. And would you be paying a commission? You got to ask this question, folks, because these are off market. This is not on the MLS where you get paid no matter what. This is off market. You got to negotiate, right? Would you be willing to pay a commission? What number is that? Whatever you can get away with, right? It doesn't matter what the number is. Just make sure they have motivation to sell. They would at least entertain an offer from a qualified buyer. What range would that offer have to be in? And are they paying a commission? Great. And asking for permission. I'd love to market this to my qualified buyers. Is that okay? I want to add you to my off-market property list. Perfect. I won't contact you unless I have a bona fide qualified buyer interested in that property. Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. Guys, it is the easiest call you're going to make. It is the easiest call you're going to make. You're not talking about, can you list the home? When's it going to be ready? This or that. What'd your last agent do? You know, all the regular expired script. This is different. This is just the initial contact. This is just the initial contact. Okay. And you want to get that property on that list. Easy, easy, easy. Number two, the same deal, but you're calling up active for sale by owners. Active for sale by owners. And for sale by owners hate agents. They mostly get calls from real estate agents, right? So they're not going to be happy. If you tell them, you know what, I don't want to list your property. I'm building my off-market property list for my buyers, qualified buyers. Is it okay if I add to that list and I advertise the property to them? That's all they want you to do anyway, okay? You're only going to be doing exactly what they want agents to do. Bring me a buyer, right? Great. The property's still available. Awesome. What's the price you're willing to accept? You have any wiggle room in that price? Okay, that's great. Are you going to be paying a commission? Same question, right? Awesome. I'll be reaching out if one of my buyers wants to go take a look. Is that okay? Great. That's awesome. No problem. Let's go, right? So again, very simple call to make. In fact, a lot of it, they might even be thrown off because a lot of agents use this approach like a bait and switch. They want to go tour the property and try to go for the listing. You don't have to do that here, okay? You actually want to build up your off-market property list. Okay, great. I love it. Thank you so much. You can do a preview appointment if you want, right? You can start building a relationship with that seller because further down the line, if the home doesn't sell, guess who they're going to talk to? They're going to talk to an agent they know, like, and trust. They might already have one. But if they meet you, it gets your foot in the door. You might have an opportunity to do that. But at this point, you're just starting from contribution, coming from contribution, add them to your off-market property list. Okay, that's number two. Number three, you can do this. You can do this with circle prospecting. Okay, circle prospecting can generate potential off-market deals. But of the three, expired, first by owner, circle prospecting is going to yield the least amount. All right, just being honest with you guys, because expired and for sale by owners are hand raisers. Okay, they're hand raisers, and they've had some intent to sell. Something's going on in the meantime, but there's a lot of intention. Circle prospecting is not bad, right? But you will find people that say, hey, you know what? I'd be willing to sell, but if the right offer came along, that's great. Let me look for the right offer for you, right? If I can bring you a bona fide, a qualified buyer, would you at least entertain an offer from them? Oh, maybe. Okay, great. Is it okay if I add your property to my off-market property list, right? So in case I someone is interested in that property, I'll only bring them if they can make an actual offer. Okay, sure. Like a lot of, you'll be surprised. A lot of sellers will actually say yes to that. What does that mean? It means there's more motivation than they're letting on. Okay. So I love that. If you're getting your circle prospecting, those nurtures, those circle prospecting, those seller leads, and you're pitching them on putting them on their off-market property list, there's motivation there. Okay. There's more motivation than they may be letting on. So for me, that just puts them at the top of the list for my follow-ups and to chat with them to get their property sold. Okay. I mean, that's a big difference from like a regular seller nurture that might be selling in the next year or two versus someone that say, you know what, if you can find a qualified buyer, I'd be willing to talk to them, right? They likes my home. Great. So there's a lot of reasons people might say yes to that, right? And I'm going to throw another one in, Roberto. I'm going to throw one more in there that I think people should be calling right now that can yield potential off-market properties, and that is absentee owners, right? For rent by owners, absentee owners, it just means that they own the home, don't live there. That's what absentee owner means. And they're probably an investor. It might be a mom and pop investor. It might be a professional, has a full-time career, just has a rental property on the side. Give them a call. And if they're not ready, they're not ready to list yet. Hey, can I add you to my off-market property list? This could be like a plan B, right? If they're not ready to go just yet, well, can I add you to my off-market property list? If I can find a qualified buyer that wants to make an offer, would you like to hear that? Would you at least entertain an offer on this property and hear what they have to say? Okay, great. And what are your thoughts? How much do you think you want to get for that? Okay, great. Again, you're not negotiating an offer at this point. Okay, it doesn't matter what price they say. It doesn't matter, because when you have a qualified buyer, then you can have a real discussion. Okay, if this even happens. Okay, so you get their information, permission to publish that and advertise it in your off-market property list, and are they going to pay commission? The exact same thing. So then you can get 5 properties on there. I think you can get 5 properties on there in a week. It should take you a week, you or your ISA, right? Whoever's making these calls, they should have that as an option. Can I add you to my off-market property list to market your property to qualified buyers? It's going to be a very small pool, but if you don't want to go on the full MLS, this is the next best thing. Let me advertise it to my buyers. Okay, get them in there. Get 5. If you can get 5 properties on there, you've got a list. This is your off-market property list, and grow from there. I knew an agent, Roberto, out in Sacramento, that built their business off of their off-market property list. They were doing single family and small multifamily. The small multis are the ones that took off, right? Because he had a list, I think at one point, almost 100 properties. And he would just ask you, what kind of home are you looking for? What's your price range? Okay. What kind of return on investment do you want on this small multifamily? And he would send you the subset of the list that he had. Boom. And he was killing it, right? Because he had a lot of properties on that list. And all he did, and I got to know the guy, we got to talking, he knew that I did ISA. So all he did was what I just described. Old expired, for sale by owner, and he would just call up people on properties that he thought were interesting, right? Absentee owner. That's all he did, right? And he would get 1, 2, 3 properties every week onto that list. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He would get buyers off that list, because all he would talk about was his exclusive off-market property list. He would get the best buyers, and he would have access to inventory. And he didn't say they didn't always sell, right? The off-market. He ended up doing a lot of MLS deals from that list, a majority MLS deals, right? But he would sell several of those as well, right? If you have enough buyers, you're going to find someone that's a good match to the property. Okay, so that is, I can't stress this enough. Every agent should have a lead magnet like this off-market property list. It can attract buyers on the buy side, pick the most qualified ones, and you can find inventory that is not on the MLS. You can find it, you can surface it, and you can offer it to your clients. Okay, I saw another agent, this was on Reddit this last week, right, that said, he had never done it. He didn't like cold calling, he had never done it. The only thing he had ever done that was similar to cold calling. He didn't consider it cold calling. This is crazy. He didn't consider it cold calling because he was calling around neighborhoods looking for specific properties that his buyers were looking for. He was so desperate for inventory, he would find these properties with the correct characteristics his buyers wanted. He'd pull phone numbers for them, and he'd call them up asking if they wanted to sell or not. But he didn't think that was cold calling. That's not cold calling. I'm looking for a property for my buyer. And I say, you know what, man, keep doing that. Don't call it cold. You know what I call it? Don't call it cold calling. You're serving your buyers, right? You're doing your job, quite frankly, right? Trying to find great properties for your clients. And I said, call it whatever you want. You should do that every day. That's what I told him, right? And the thought of doing cold call, expired Facebook circle was just he couldn't do it. The thought of serving his clients, finding a specific property, could do every day. You know what? Whatever works, right? It's 100% a mindset thing. It is 100% a mindset thing. The fact that he had a very clear intention changed everything for him, right? And I could never convince him that was a cold call, but I didn't care. It doesn't matter. You keep doing that. You do that every day, and you get more buyers in the pipeline. You look for more properties. You're gonna do well. You're gonna do well. And Roberto, it's as simple for everyone to tell them this. If you can have 25 to 30 real estate focused conversations, new real estate focused conversations every day, you're going to have more business than you know what to do with. Okay. If you can find a way to have 25 to 30 real estate focused conversations with new people every single day, you're going to have more business that you know what to do with even right now. But that's what I'm seeing top performers do. Cold calling is just one way to do that. Okay. There are more. There are more. It's just that, I mean, you're in this, Roberto. Through marketing is another way to do this. You'll go out there, use the platforms, buy leads, right? That's another way to generate this conversation. That's great. If you have a large enough database, maybe that's enough to have enough conversations with folks. And if it's your database, an extended database, it doesn't have to be 30. You might have to have 3 of those conversations, right? 10 of those conversations to get the same result. When you're doing outbound prospecting, it has to be about 30 to really start to get 1, 2, or 3 really interested potential sellers into the pipeline every day. Okay, so that's it, folks. That's what I got. That is the off-market property list. It is a secret weapon, in my opinion. The people that know about it use it. The ones that use it don't talk too much about it, because that's like something they use in their advertising. It's a value add. It is a lead magnet that they love, and it works amazing in some of these low inventory situations. You got to give it a try.
So if you guys are doing this, put it in the comments. How's it working out for you? And if you haven't done it, do you have questions about how to build it better? Right? We've gone over a few options. This video is going to go on our YouTube channel. It gets recorded. So if you guys want to watch it later, go ahead and watch it. Real Closers is the YouTube channel. Comments, questions, put them in the comment box here, so that next week we can cover either other topics or kind of drill down on this one a little more if that's what you guys need. But this is the thing you need to start doing right now. You have to pick up the phone. You have to have those conversations. Like Gustavo said, right? The more conversations you have, the more chances at closing deals. And the thing is, if you have 200 conversations a week, you're gonna turn some of that into appointments, into people that are interested in working with you, right? So just got to keep doing it. Consistency, right?
100%. It's simple. It's not easy, but it is very simple.
Yeah, exactly. It's simple and not simple, right? I mean, it takes work. I mean, if it was that easy, everybody be doing it, right? I mean,
100%. You just got to find a way to consistently get those conversations flowing, and don't take no for an answer, right? Do not come up with excuses to not do it. If you can find a way to do it, and that's the goal. If you had to have 25, 30 conversations a day to keep your job, you would find a way to do it. You would find a way to do it. It's not impossible, right? It's not super easy. It's not impossible either, right? But doing it consistently is the key.
Exactly. Consistency and motivation, right? A lot of people say, hey, I'm not motivated. But when you had a 9-to-5, and a lot of agents here had a 9-to-5, you didn't need motivation to go show up. You didn't need motivation to, it was just a paycheck at the end of the week, right?
It was just it was just part of the grind. That was what you did. And you did it because that was the job, period. End of story, right? And as entrepreneurs, it's not just, we get to define that job. We define those activities. If we made having 25 to 30 conversations just part of the job, right? We would do it before noon every day, before noon, right?
Exactly.
We could do it before noon. And if we took it that seriously with that intention, you wouldn't care about the market shift. It wouldn't matter. So Roberto, this is a great example. The difference between doing this now as the market is shifting versus doing it a year ago is that a year ago, you might be done by 10 a.m. And now it'll take you to noon. That's the difference, right? I'm just being very honest with you guys. That would be the difference. There was just way more people in the market a year and a half ago, than there is right now. That would be the difference. You'd be done by 10 a.m. or you'd be done by noon. That would be the key thing, because the activity is the same. Exactly. The activity is the same. It just takes more conversations, more leads to get the same result.
Cool. All right. And I'm going to say one thing. If you guys found value with this conversation today, I'm going to copy this from a guy that I talk to all the time. Be a good friend and share it with other people, right? Be a good friend. If you found value in this, most likely your friend is going to find value as well. So share this with, invite people to the group, share the link with other people, with other friends, with other real estate agents who need this type of value as well. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Gustavo. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next week.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.